Hello, welcome back to Helping Hand OKC. Today, here on Helping Hand OKC, we're going to talk about your hot water tank. Some of the things that you can check before replacing, do your annually inspection of it, uh, just some of the simple things that you can check before you have to replace it. Most hot water tanks are either going to be gas or electric. I believe they have propane ones, but I've never dealt with propane. I always either a gas or electric. Those are the two basic ones. This particular hot water tank, it is a 40-gallon hot water tank, um, and it's a gas supply. So this is what supplies the gas, and this is how your hot water tank functions. On one side, you have a two inlet. You have an inlet that's going to be the cold feed. This comes from the street. That's your water supply. And the water goes in and it goes in the hot water tank and it fills it up. Then the hot water tank comes on to whatever temperature you have, it heats it up. Then it goes out of the hot side. So when you turn the hot water on in your home, it's pulling it from here and it'll give you X amount of hot water tank according to how much you fill it and according to what temperature you have it. One of the things I would like to, that I always check on the hot water tank, these feeds, make sure the cold side and the hot side, you don't see water leaking up here. You want to check your dampener up here, make sure it's secure. That's for your exhaust to go out. You want to make sure that's, set up correctly. You want to notice this is one of the most important pieces here. It's called a release valve. And it's on every hot water tank, whether it's gas or electric, it would be there. This is release valve. You want to make sure that it's either have a downspout and either going to go into the pan, or it'll go into the drain. Mine goes into the drain, which is the same thing. If it goes in the pan, it'll drain out to the drain. Make sure this is here. I don't know if you guys remember back in I'm gonna say late 70s, early 80s, they had a hot water tank that busted here. Somewhere in Oklahoma City County where it blew up in the school. And the mix-up was either this particular valve wasn't, someone modified it or it wasn't there. I don't quite remember the whole story, but I know it was something had to do with this valve. I don't know if back then they didn't send it with this or what the deal was on it, but it did blow up and it maimed a lot of kids. I don't know how many kids it killed, but it was a big, big story. And ever since then, hot water tanks kind of changed their whole regulations. Say if you come out here and you smell gas, first thing to do if you smell gas is either call your local plumber or call your fire department or your gas company. Either three of those you can call. They'll come out and turn off your gas, find out what the gas, But if you feel comfortable, you can come to your gas line right here, and there's a turn off. You can turn off the gas line right here, and that'll turn it off from here to this, to control. It'll turn it off from here down. If you turn it off here and you still smell gas, that means it lets me know it's probably from here up somewhere in the feed, in this tube here somewhere. But only if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable messing with it, then by no means call your local plumber. But this is where you turn off the gas. This is your thermostat. And all hot water tanks are going to have a thermostat. And I think a lot of them you can go from 90 degrees all the way up to 150 degrees. And this one particular one's got an off, pilot, low, hot, A, B, and C. You can turn it up to very, very hot. Just be careful if you turn it up really hot and you have children, you can get burned. It's hot enough to burn you. So make sure if you ever turn it up, to turn it up 1 degree at a time and kind of see if that'd be good enough for you. That's a turn off valve. Now I also just have an indicator light. This one has an indicator light that blinks and it lets me know it's green right now. And this lets me know everything is functioning okay. If I come in here and it's red or something or not blinking at all, I would check and see my gas power, if I got gas power or do I have electric to it. Because the electric to it is on an igniter. It hooks up to my igniter and goes inside. But this is actually my thermostat. Now, if you have a you have electric, your thermostat would look like this. I don't know if you can see that. This would be your thermostat. And it would be like posted here or here. Sometimes they have two. It'll be a cover on. You just take off the cover, and they got a little reset button. I don't know if you can see that. A little red reset button. If you have to come out and push that, that'll reset your hot water tank. Because a lot of times your thermostat could act up. Your thermostat gets too hot or get old, and it just keeps popping. And if that's the case, you just push it and reset it a couple times. If you find yourself coming out here every time to keep resetting it, probably time to change your thermostat. And this thermostat costs approximately about $20. And if you have two, you have a top one and a lower one, you can do the math on that. But a lot of times you can just reset it. Also at the bottom here, I don't know if you can see, you have the temperature dial where you can turn it up. You take a little fine screwdriver, you can turn it up or down depending on what temperature you want. Same thing as on your gas. And this one goes from 90 to 150 degrees. Anyway, this is your thermostat on the electric. On this particular one right here, like if I wanted to look and see whether or not, my pallet is lit, there's got a cover on this side. You just remove your cover. They got a little window that you can look in and see whether or not your flame or your pallet is lit. And if it's not lit, then I would try to relight it, turn it to pallet mode and reset it, to try to light it if you don't see a light there. But if you see a flame there and a light, then everything is fine. And if this light is green, then everything is good. Not all of them going to have this green light. So you can verify by looking at this cover. And always make sure you have this cover in place. We're going to put it back in. And also in this pan, if you ever see water in this pan, more than likely you probably have a busted tank, it's leaking, but always check the hoses up top first before you determine whether or not you need to replace your hot water tank. Because a lot of times your lines will be loose and the water will come down and fill up your pan. And you'll say, oh, I need a new hot water tank. No, a lot of times we just need to replace a line that's leaking. But anyway, if your lines are tight and you still see water in your pan, most of the time it's probably that your tank is busted and you probably need to replace it. Another deal about this particular hot water tank, you want to always make sure that you have this pan here. Have this pan that catches your water. And this is actually a 40-gallon tank. And you can go 40, you can get a 60, you can get a 80, it's going up and up depending on how much hot water you need. What else? You want to make sure your vent is vented really good. And this basically, say for instance you want to drain your hot water tank, they have a drain valve. Mostly all hot water tanks have a spot where you can drain it. Like some people drain it like once a year. I had not drained this one in a couple of years. A lot of times they do drain it because they say the sediment builds up inside the calcium. And if you drain it, it can give you a lot longer life. This one, hot water tank is not very old. But anyway, if you prefer to drain it or have it drained, you can drain it here. But make sure you kill all power before you do so. And turn off the water. Say for instance, you come out here and you have a totally electric tank and you check your stat and you push this button again and it is not triggered. It means it's not popped. That means nothing's wrong with it. Then I would go over there and check my breaker. Check your breaker. Make sure your breaker that you have power to your hot water tank. That's just a little, tip that you can do to kind of troubleshoot and see what's going on with your hot water tank. On the electric, I do know the electric tank, they have elements. And the elements would be like located right underneath this on it. And it's just a long tube. And a lot of times the elements are burning too. And you can check those as well. But I'll go over that in another video about how do you check your elements. By no means, if you feel comfortable working on your hot water tank, do so. Always be very careful If you feel like this is above what your knowledge is, always YouTube. You can YouTube me. And find out about, but always make sure that you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, call your local plumber. He will come out. This is what he does every day. He can get her and get you fixed, but kind of have an idea on what's going on with your hot water tank. So someone won't come out and say, hey, you need a hot water tank, and it's all you need is a $20 stat, and they charge you $2,000 for install a hot water tank. So you have to just kind of know a little bit about it. It could be your breaker. It could be a bad element or something. But a lot of times they want to sell you things. So just be mindful, and be mindful of, when your plumber do come, you have an idea of what's going on. I think it takes care of all the basic knowledge of a hot water tank. I thank you guys for subscribing to my YouTube channel. For the ones that hadn't, please hit me up at Helping Hand OKC. Helping Hand at OKC. Follow me, and I'll follow you back. Subscribe, share my videos, and I thank you. Bye-bye.